Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another ECM repair and test. Actually, I have two of them. One from Shannon Kelly. He is from Oregon. That's 2004, I think it's 2004 Camry. And that one in the bench is coming from Alaska. Dog. This is your computer, the one I have in the bench. I need to remove this from here because all his data is there. He said concerns are about shifting from one to second, very abrupt, harsh. Reverse is also very abrupt. No difference if shifting with or without transmission electrical connector plugged in or not. And he has a dreaded fall P0776. All right, so I'm reproducing your concern, dog. First, let me just also read his email, which I still have here. Make sure I can cover some of his data because I don't want to. Um, let's see if I can get this a little smaller. I think it's okay in there. I don't see much that. It's just his name. All right, it says I have a customer with a 2004 Toyota Rav4. That's yeah, this is a Rav4 from Dog. Um, it's with 177,000 kilometers or miles, right? Not sure. They're from Petersburg, Alaska. It's in very nice condition except for the dreaded P0776 code. All right, so this is definitely, and I know that you're very aware of, and he viewed my YouTube video about the Camry, which is at the end the same. This computer, even though they will have different numbers on the connectors, the positions are the same. The computers are pretty much internally the same. Obviously, one will be 4x4, the other one is not if the RAV4 is 4x4. All right, so I am connected to your computer, dog, and I have right now the oscilloscope connected, ready to go. For connections, again, this is going to change a little bit from here to or there to from computer to computer as far as the pinouts, and I can show, or you can visit the Camry. For my connections, I always check in between the pins. I returned the Remarkable 2 and now I have the iPad Pro. I am very happy with this. I'm using notes and reminders and calendars so much more. This is a very, very beautiful tool. A little expensive. This is the 1 terabyte version because I do have a lot of pictures and everything that I need to keep. So for business, not a problem. All right, so what I did in here, as you will see, pin 1 and connector E4 is also share a ground, right, to pin 28 in connector E6, and the E6, pin 7 and 6 are ground, and they're also share to a ground in connector E4, pin 4. Then 7 is not connected to anything else, and neither the one in connector E5, pin 7. These are the power. These are the communications are in E8, 18, and that goes to DLC7 if I need to read fault codes or so. And then these are the transmission solenoids. They have transmission solenoid A and solenoid B. The P0776 is for solenoid B, and I have that information as well, Paul. Let me just see if I'm the correct one. No, I'm not. Actually, since I'm here, I want to show you what I was talking about the connectors right here. This is from a 2004 Camry. So if we see in the Camry, they name or they put the numbers six, E6, E7, E8, E9, and E10. Nice order. On this RAV4, in the other hand, they're not like that. In the RAV4, let me get this a little closer. We have the three connectors together are 4, 5, and 6, and then 7 and 8. So a very different or weird layout. At the end, connections are exactly the same. So the numbers of the connectors are going to change, but they're exactly the same. So I have the code right here. I look into Identifix, and it is, like I said, a very Reddit fault code. So if you have the P0776, that is for pressure and control solenoid B, which is the shift solenoid valve SL2. If you have the P0746, that's for pressure control solenoid 8, and that's the shift solenoid 1. That's what I have both marked in here. I always check all for the video, and for his concern, I'm focusing on the B, which is the fault code. And for what he's describing is 100% in there. All right, let me go over to his folder. So I am in his folder. I don't think it's anything else that needs to be shared. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so going on the test, I have these ready to go connected, and I'm using the same thing. The solenoid for INIAC is a very perfect substituted value. Solenoid B, when it's working good, it has to be on all the time. Like as soon as you turn the ignition with this test, right? With this test, it will be cycling on and off, cycling on and off until the transmission runs and is, speed and so on. But this is the way the computer check the solenoid. It has to be correct resistance and everything, otherwise it will set the fault code. So if I turn this on, computer is up and running. Let's see what we see on this oscilloscope, which is now off, because let me just make sure I turn it on. All right, the red channel is connected to pin 14 on the E5 connector. Both are in the E5 connector, which is the negative side. And then the blue channel is connected to the positive side. So we have voltage, as we can see. So the computer is providing the voltage, and we have ground, but we have nothing on this solenoid. So definitely 100% your computer needs to be repaired. The reason I put that tape is I can difference one to the other, because out of the case, they look exactly identical. All right, guys, let me proceed with the repairs on this one, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I finished the repairs in dog from Alaska, Petersburg, Alaska. I have him not even tested yet, so I have everything ready to go. Same as in the oscilloscope. Let me make sure I have the pinouts correctly. Yeah, E5, 14, and 15, and the nodes are correctly in there. All right, so let's power this up and see what this does. All right, so I'm powering on. We'll see in a second. All right, we got activation now, but I don't like what I'm seeing. I hope you see the drops on the ground. Yeah, and it's not working properly. So either we have another situation on this computer, or the driver is bad. I mean, we can sometimes get that. It's definitely working better, because before it was completely dead, but it's not right. One more time. I'm going to turn it on. All right, now it's on. Takes like 3 seconds to activate, something like that, right? So, but yeah, it is not right. I'm going to turn this off, because something is not right in here. Let's go back to the capture, and let's do a sum, like right here. And we can see that it's doing activations, but it's not right. So something is not right in here. I already triple checked my connections, and everything is properly connected on his computer, but it's not working right. So let me replace his drivers again, and make sure the diodes and resistors around are still in place correctly. Otherwise, we might have another problem. All right, that's part of the repairs, right? I'll be right back. All right, guys, I finished repairs. Again, I have not started the computer yet. Let me pick up some garbage from the floor before I run into this. All right, so let's do the test again. So I replace the driver again and check everything around. I don't see nothing abnormal. Sometimes that could be caused by a diode, because I'm seeing a little higher amperage when I was doing the test before. Let's do it one more time. My computer is on. Yeah, doing exactly the same thing. I can definitely see the exactly same situation going on. So let me run the oscilloscope. It is definitely activation on, but it's definitely not just a driver. We have another issues, another situation in here, dog. It looks like something happened with this computer. We need to go over to half a millisecond per division. I can turn all these channels off. Let me check those or turn those off. This is just without selecting it for the actual test, but yeah, I can see the same thing. I can see on the ground the same pull down, so it's drawing a lot of amperage. And this is like with the computer working and the solenoid being activated, I have seen, 800 to maybe 900, but not over 1 amp. And this is like a 1.4. So something else is happening in here. Something else is pulling more amperage, which right now we only have one solenoid. All right, keep trying. All right, guys, just for the sake of testing us out as well, I still have chain in here, the Camry. I put dog on the side, which I still got everything connected for now one, but I didn't connected chain in here, and we're going to see this one working. So I'm going to turn it on. We see, that even actually running is like 600 milliamps, and that is with a good activation. So in here, I can stop this. I can go back a waveform. Let me turn this computer off because we don't need to keep going. So it's actually 600 millivolts, oh sorry, milliamps, computer and solenoid running. And we can see here, if I do a zoom, let me see if I can do that. Not with the finger. All right, so let's do it like this. Yeah, it didn't select it. We can see the normal activations. I don't see nothing abnormal. We can see power on, power off, power on, power off, and then in the ground as well. Um, this is not the same setup that I had before, because this is just the same one that I was using for dog. But yep, so this computer is good. That computer is still no good. Same drivers. So this driver worked perfectly for chain, but it's not working on his. So that means I thought of maybe, okay, we might have a bad driver out of the batch that I have, but no, they're not. Because I put another one and there's the same exact situation and it's working, but it's drawing too much amperage. Again, I always like to collect data so I can prove and visit myself when I'm doing tests like this. Um, write your notes, record videos, something you can visit, and then you're like, did that or not? That's what I'm doing in here. All right, guys. Again, keep going with this one. All right, guys. I got the scanner connected, and actually, the computer is actually now working better. I think it's actually ready. All right, so I'm going to get out of the diagnostic part. So with this one, all you need is pin 7. As you see, the only thing that I'm connected from my universal test plan is a K line on E8 connector E8 pin. I think it's pin 18. Yeah, pin 18. That's DLC7. That's all we need to communicate to these computers. So powers and grounds and the solenoid, everything is still connected the same way. The solenoid right now, computer is connected on, solenoid is not working. Rav4 is a little different than the Camry. This computer uses 3 solenoids, and the reason I say that is let's read the fault codes. So this is a computer where we have SL1, SL2, and SLT. It all depends on what transmission is installed on the vehicle, right? So we have in here, let me just see, pressure control solenoid A, pressure control solenoid B, and it was a pressure control for solenoid D2. Let me see, P0778, P778 electrical. This is just again because nothing is connected. Well, we have the solenoid in there, but what I want you to see is right now it's not being operated. I'm going to show you if I clear the fault codes, right? It's going to clear the full memory, and we're going to see now the solenoid coming on in a better way and no longer clicking. So this is definitely 100% fixed. And it's going to run a test until it doesn't like the resistance we have here, but now the driver is fully operational. And yes, it was the driver I installed, it was good. His is no good, but now the computer is fully working. So we can see now that this is working good, right? So we see activation, and then finally it turns off. That's it, right? So I'm going to turn off here. I'm in this oscilloscope, and we can see how many windows we went through activations, which is great. And we see the ground, there is no longer that spike that we were seeing and drawing a lot of amperage. The activation on this solenoid B is a bit different than the Camry, so I'm going to save this as a known good for a 2004 RAV4. But it is, if I do a zoom, we can see the activation happening, and it's more on than off. It all depends on the polarity that we have here, but it is good. It's a good. It's pulling it all the way to ground, and it's coming from battery voltage. And we can see now that we have a constant activation and no longer that cycling, clicking. All right, Doug, it took me longer. This is why when I'm working RAV4s, it's not the same as in Camrys. There's a little more intricate computers to work with, but you can see the proof is in the pudding. Um, I know what I'm doing. You're in the best hands. If you need to repair these computers, I will make it happen. If it can be repaired, I will do it. I will repair it. If I give you at the end a result that cannot be repaired, it's because it's not repairable. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.